Hello, welcome to Fridays at 4 on twitch.tv/DDO stream. I'm DDO's community manager, Cordovan. And yep, I'm going to have a little preview of a little bit of next week's start of Hardcore Season 8. Otherwise, it's really just going to be kind of a chill stream. I don't really have anything exactly that I'm doing on my stream yet because we're going to be right starting Hardcore next week. And so I'll probably just run around a little bit and do some Q&A. We just had our release this week of update 59.1, and I'll go through the release notes a little bit. We have a bonus XP weekend, so that's part of why I'm actually playing on Wayfinder today when we get there, if we get there. Running around Isle of Dread and such because I want XP because I'm almost going to cap out. And so that's really what I'm doing this weekend on the DDO side. I don't know what you've got going on, but whatever it is, hope it goes well. Thanks everyone for being here. I've got up the screenshot for the key art for Hardcore Season 8. And I'm not even going to give you a title yet. Because here's the deal. Hardcore Season 8 is a little bit different than some of the other seasons we've done of Hardcore, and I want to be very careful not to spoil things. Now, I don't want to overblow it either, but at the same time, the season's going to be a little different in such a way that once you know what I'm talking about, it'll make a little more sense why perhaps I don't want to give you the names of a few things, or perhaps show off the reward list. And there's some pretty interesting things now. Now, we're placing internal bets as to how many minutes it's going to be before everyone's got this figured out, right? So we're right on the cusp of this, and we'll see. We'll see how much you figure out right away. So we're gonna do that, but we are gonna be in game here in just a little bit and check things out. And I did want to mention that yes, the 8th season begins on May 17th when we come back from our downtime that week, presumably. Next week, we'll have the hardcore server up. We could pick a formal date, too. We'll have to talk about that, actually, in the next 24, 48 hours and see. But it's Wednesday morning. Probably late morning Eastern, maybe even mid-morning. We'll see. And that'll be what's going on. You can go to DDO.com. There's a page for Hardcore, and you can get a little bit of information there. But why don't we go inside of the game? Now, I am on a server, and I am in the test dojo, and we are going to show off a few of these items here. I'm only going to show off a few of the Hardcore Season 8 items that you will be going after. But the first one I wanted to show off is the one that I actually have toggled here. So let me make sure I've got my eyes toggled as well. Alright, so when I'm running around here, got some new footprints. They're like shiny golden footprints. I'm running faster than normal because I'm on an admin character and I forgot to set it otherwise, but tough. I like being fast. So anyway, that's one thing. The other thing would be the eyes, right? Yep. Kind of see them. It's a little hard to see maybe on this character. I don't actually think I gave myself a set of cosmetic eyes first, which I think I need to do. Or do I just need to toggle that? No. I might need to... I actually did not think this one through quick. Well, anyway, it's golden glowy eyes. Let's get to the gear. Alright. This is the full cloak. Pretty nice looking, if I do say so myself, huh? And then the sash. I'll just leave both up so you can read them. There's a sash version of this as well. I'm not on an... I can't, not right. Yeah, I'm not... I can't detach the camera, unfortunately, so I have the same perspective that you do at the moment. But that should be pretty alright. And then we've got the Glittering Golden Mimic certificate. Using this special certificate allows you to form a permanent bond with your own glittering golden mimic. The certificate, you know, I'll actually talk about certificates a little bit later, but let's go add this thing to the stable. And take a look. Alright. So the only thing... How can I get myself a set of eyes really easily? I'm trying to think about that. Let me see. In this case, because I'm on an admin, it might be easier to just get some in the store. Either way, let me get back to chat. I haven't really been looking at chat. I've been focusing on trying to live stream. Character. Cosmetics and pets. No, I don't think so. I don't think I'm going to get what I'm looking for, unfortunately. Alright, well, that's fine. It'll just have to be a mystery, but it's also not that much of a mystery. It's glowing golden eyes. As one might expect. But see, that's just... I don't want to... See, that's the whole thing, is I don't want to give it away, right? I don't want to spoil anything, but that's clearly not a complete list, is it? So, there's a whole bunch of things. You want to see the eyes? Alright, well, let me think about this. How am I going to get myself a set of cosmetic eyes? Oh, here we go. Well, let's just try this. Alright, so now we got that. So let me try toggling. See, I don't think it's working. It may just not... Oh, that's probably why. That does not help. Alright. See, I don't think it's working yet. Because that's just the regular, isn't it? Nothing's really changing. I'll have to follow up on that. Because that's just the regular eyes. Alright. Well, I did my best, everyone. But there we are. Alright, let me get back to chat. Where did that go? Yeah, it could be. We'll have to stick someone on it. See if we can get that fixed post-haste. Or maybe I'm just not doing it right. So, there we go. But yes, there are quite a few more rewards than what I'm displaying for you today. So let me just real quick kind of raise the point that there seems to be a common theme, does there not? So, yes. Let's just leave it at a teaser at that. So, alright, let me pop over to the main servers here and get to questions. Can I just spoil the whole thing anyway? No. No is the answer to that. No one's watching? No one will tell? Yeah, okay, well, so, no. What I can do is log into the regular game world. Oh, and I can also tell you that the end date of the Hardcore Season 8, well, I'll get this on the website before I call it a day today, I think. But the end date we have currently on our calendar is through July 18th. So through July 18th. Probably being shut down on the 19th when we take things down for our regular game maintenance. But we'll see. We'll see. Sometimes we want to set a specific date on that. But it'll be around July 18th. Sometimes people prefer if we're like, well, just do it at 2 p.m. Eastern, or something like that. And we can sometimes accommodate that sort of thing. So. Oh, so what I have heard is that it is +2. What I have heard, let me double check that before I say again, but I asked that question this morning, and yes, 2 is the answer. So it's +2 in terms of the level gating this year. So, this season. Have I spoiled anything new, though, with the previews? So I guess I kind of did, Kaleva, although it's not a spoil, but I did show off the sash and the cloak on an actual in-game avatar. Not that the key art isn't actual on a character, but I showed you kind of how you'll see it, outside of a marketing shot. And I did show you the mimic, and I showed you the golden footprints. And to my understanding, no one has seen those until just now. All right. What I'm intending to do early next week is post up some amount of the standard tier reward list and the names of the items that you can receive. And we'll be doing that in the coming days for those who are interested in that. But we're not going to do that ahead of the weekend. I think that's where we're going to leave it in terms of spoilers for today. I could mention, however, that we do have a pretty good bonus going on this weekend and a Champion Hunter week. So, DDO bonus days bring you 10% XP for every member in your party, not raid group. This is the party one, not the party raid one. But you get 10%. other than yourself, through Sunday. Also go to Champion Hunter Week through May 17th. So that one's going through next Wednesday. We tend to give you a little longer on the vendor ones. And that's the Mysterious Remnants vendor in the Hall of Heroes for that. Alright, let me get back in game here and switch scenes. So I would say, you know, I gave you the dating as I stated, which is that this is how it's currently listed in the calendar. So if we need to change something up, we could perhaps. I don't know what the intention is. It may be that it all right. So I have nothing else going on, and we're only 4:17 into the show. I could maybe call the show a little early tonight, but we'll see. We did have update 59.1. Oh, I could let me do that real quick. Uh, Oop, not that one. Because there was something I wanted to mention real quick, and I think I can. There we are. All right. This is from the update 59.1 release notes this week, and I wanted to call this bit out. Which is that mounts and pets that are granted account-wide from special offers going forward, this will be like Vecna Unleashed, or limited time releases, like if we have pets and maybe some kind of bundle that we offer in the future, will now automatically apply to your stable when you log in, rather than appearing in your inventory as a certificate. An alert will appear to notify you that your mount or pet has been added to your stable, but it's not going to be retroactive to older special offers, such as older expansions. We'll still need to either speak with the claim NPC, like in Islet right here, or activate the claim tickets to obtain the mount pet certificates like usual. Things that you get through daily dice, quest rewards, or DDO store offers that aren't account-wide will continue to utilize certificates. But for the account-wide mounts and account-wide pets going forward in like Vecna Unleashed and such, it's just going to get auto-granted. So you won't have to deal with that every time you log into a world after an expansion or something like that. So... otherwise, just also note the hardcore vendor is temporarily off. That's because the hardcore vendor itself might be a little bit of a spoiler. If you haven't gotten it by now, then you can wait a week, and then you can get it. So, we do, however, have the leaderboards for Season 7 up as well. Alright. I have no plan. I'm just going to wander around and get some kills. And pick up a few things and level up a little bit and hang out with you, essentially, until the end of the show or until I decide to call it. So I think if you're here for the news is done. You can wait a few minutes to see if you can get any info out of me. But I think I've pretty much taken care of everything that I could think of. So... yeah, I didn't want to, because I've been somewhat upbeat and everything. I didn't want to mention that part of the release notes yet, but now seems like a better time. Which is that we did add a memorial to Humble Friar in Delaras, and so that's something to check out. Please do. Not gonna lie, really sucked. It's been a rough couple of weeks. Yep. So, on the lag, because I didn't, did I do a stream last week? I think I did a stream last week, but the performance fixes went in with update 59, and we've been able to measure that, yeah, it actually has made a measurable difference in the metrics that were being tracked, you know, on the kind of charts and graphs that are being used to map out KPIs and such related to this effort. The same kind of thing they used to help identify and such. So we know that it has actually made a big difference in lag. But obviously, you know, that's a very different statement than saying we don't have lag. And part of one of the things that we have run into, which is a tricky one that we're working to navigate. Just turn down the music just a smidge. Is that it appears that some of the lag reduction caused a measurable increase in some like zerging behavior and dungeon alert behavior that we're still working to resolve. So no one's placing blame on anyone for anything, although it appears, based on sort of what we can see, that we saw a recent increase in some significant dungeon alert style behavior that has been causing problems. Now, it's important to remember that dungeon alert does not cause lag. It is simply a warning system that behavior which is causing lag is happening. So, you know, it's easy when you are lagging out or having a difficult game performance experience or whatever to be like seeing that red dungeon alert and going, But it's really the opposite, which is that the dungeon alert is alerting to the improper behavior. I mean, that's what it is. Like, things ain't working. And so I'm popping up in a warning alert. That's essentially what it is, right? So we've been working on various solutions, you know, in the past week or so, and I don't think I'm really able to offer a plan at the moment. I'll leave it up to our engineers and others who are still working on it before I say more. But, you know, we're working on some adjustments to Dungeon Alert as a system, I think, to help address some of your concerns while also being able to do what needs to be done to help ensure a quality gameplay experience. I don't think you're going to see anything particularly new negative, but it's weird. It's weird, though, that just in recent weeks we saw like some measurable spikes in behavior caused by essentially, say, people pulling exceptionally large groups of mobs to them. I know there's a couple of videos out there of like mobs going brain dead and things like that as well, and you have to wonder how much of chicken and egg is involved in that, right? The more people see it, the more some people are likely to do it, which exacerbates the behavior, etc., etc. But still, it's been happening, and it's something that we've been working to try to resolve here as best as we can, while making sure that people still have a great time and everything. So I'll probably have, you know, we'll have more to say about that, I would think, more formally in a release note. But just to give you a sense of, you know, hey, are we working on the lag? Yeah, we're working on the lag. we are continuing to work on it. But we also did want to make sure. I think it's worth, however, still making sure that, like, the engineers who put a ton of work into Update 59's lag fixes also know that we appreciate that work. And it has, I think, been a generally improved experience outside of some of the recent spikes and behaviors that we've had. And of course, just like with anything with lag and game performance, there's never, ever going to be a one fix. You know. Here's a glass, catch the rain. All of it, you know. But still, we have been able to measure actual improvement in some of the areas, all of the areas, frankly, that had been improved with Update 59. So, despite perhaps it not being all-encompassing, it has proven fruitful. And that's something I think that, even if perhaps you're not seeing it to the extent you would like now, we still appreciate. No, see, the problem with even discussing lag, frankly, when you're trying to do it in a qualitative, quality way, is that people tend to want to assign blame or read into what they think someone might be blaming, right? So it's like, oh, you're blaming Zergers. Well, no, I am not blaming Zergers. What I am telling you is the data is showing X. X is happening. X was not happening prior. And so, you know, that's what I'm saying. And we are doing our best to try to resolve that problem in a way that maintains the best gameplay experience. We want you to have fun. Turns out we want you to have fun. So, Lord Sivan, you know, you would like to see some adjustments to the, as you describe it, annoying sounds of finding traps and secret doors. We've had some discussions about what we could do there. I don't have anything to announce today as to where we might head, but I know that we've been having those discussions too about, you know, could we, you know, maybe lower the size of the icon a little bit. Reconsider some of the audio or the way it's presented. Font choice. Things like that. And so, you know, we'll be looking at that, and I would not be surprised to see something there in the future. But I don't know when, and I wouldn't want to promise a specific outcome at this point, because we're very early in our discussion, although we have had quite a bit of discussion about it to date. I think it's pretty safe to say that we recognize that when you're in a full group with a lot of people who can spot traps or perhaps detect secret doors, and or you've got a whole bunch of hirelings that can, it can be quite the experience. So we'll see. gonna repair my gear just because I can. Nope. No clues about Hardcore 8. I already have. I already have. I can't say any I don't feel comfortable saying anything more. Because I would hate to be the person that is like, oh, okay. Yeah, but just find it. It'll be fun. Uh, Dark Wolfer 2002 wants to know. A question you don't know if anyone here can answer it. Each dungeon instance is created when the dungeon starts, right? Yes, basically. There isn't just a bunch of resources held up on dungeons waiting for people to enter, data sitting there to be filled. No, there is not. If that assumption is true, are these all instanced on the same server you were from? Now, that's a very much different question. We have physical servers, we have virtual servers, we have resources and all sorts of things. So that is a much more complex question that really can't be answered in a yes or no format. So I guess that means a no. It's much more complex than that. But you're right that in general, instances are created when you enter them. And they stick around for a little while after you leave, but then eventually they too will disappear. And they're replaced by new instances and things like that. Oops. I'm at the edge of the world. Maybe I should look at my screen instead of chat, huh? Did I get this? No. I'd get on my mount, but the thing is I kind of just want to do slayers and such, and because it's easy to do while I'm chatting. And it just feels, sometimes it's weird. There used to be a time where we all just didn't have mounts. We just had to run like this. Now it feels weird, doesn't it? Or does it? Maybe it doesn't. But see, everything, just like anything with any game, but this game just as much, if not more than most. There's no one answer to that. Sure, there are persistent instances. They're all over the place. And sure, there are, all sorts of ways that content is managed and distributed throughout the game. So yeah. But I would say typically the party-style dungeon instances you're entering are created when you want to enter them. Wow, I haven't done any explorers, apparently. This is going to work in my favor here. There has been some talk about what we could and should do with daily dice, perhaps in the, short to medium term. Specifically, I think there's some consolidation of the loot table that we could do. Maybe, change around some of the spots where various things are being delivered. And take a look at, maybe remove a few things some of the oldest stuff, have it go away, which increases thereby some of the odds in some cases of what you might want to get. It is not necessarily, a 20-minute job, though. It is something you want to consider and need to do. But it's been something that we've been looking at as well. That perhaps in the future here, we can add that somewhere. And we'll see what we can do. I don't have anything I can really say today about the new VIP program. I'm sorry. I don't really have any information to provide. When we have more information to say about it, though, we will. Listens chart wants to know, essentially, can you have a heroic, an epic, and a legendary version of a dungeon? And the answer is, in theory, you could someday, but in practice, currently, and for the foreseeable future, the answer is no. And the reason for that is the way there are very core parts of the way the game works that require it to be one of two choices. So it can, be heroic epic, it could be heroic legendary, it could maybe in theory be epic legendary, although I don't think we've ever actually done that. And I'm not sure that that would actually work. But it can't be heroic and epic and legendary. That's not to say it could never be done. Like many things in software, yes, you could. How much time you got? How much you want to spend on it? That kind of stuff. That would make it, I think, unlikely to happen. Certainly in the short term. Because I'm just melee based, I'm running away from these things. We're going to have a lot more to say about Vecna Unleashed before too long. And so I really can't answer a lot of questions about the timing of when you'll know more about Vecna Unleashed or pre-sale information. I need to wait until we are really basically ready to tell you. And then we'll have a lot more information about pre-sale. But it is still next. So that's true. It's the problem of having 2 slots with 3 options is, in most cases it can be heroic no problem. And if it can either be epic or legendary, then it's going to be one or the other, which means eventually you end up with a lot more heroic than epic and legendary. I don't know if that's actually a problem, though, because that certainly just means you got lots of options as you're getting some past lives or leveling up or doing whatever it is you want to do. And I guess that's probably a good thing. I'm not sure, so... About... Like, could you ever do 4 options? I suppose you maybe theoretically could. So you would be one either or, right? So you could do, like, heroic epic, and then have a whole different set of NPCs and panels or something. And then be like, legendary and godlike, or whatever, right? Oops. No, I don't think, we've got a lot of legendary yet ahead of us. Let's do that one first. And then we can talk about what we could do after that. So we'll see. All you're really gonna do is just uh, cause yourself misery by trying to talk about it foolishly today. I want to make sure I'm catching up on a bit more chat here. Quality crits. Cord. The devs know about the players taking, quote, extra damage bug that seems to be live in-game right now. I could say that, yes, we've seen the thread, and we've done some looking into it, and we're keeping an eye out on that thread. So the more, let's just say, reprobable detail that you're able to provide on this one, the better. We don't have like any kind of smoking gun or something. If we knew what it was and had fixed it, we'd let you know in that thread. But at the moment, it's really just well, it's okay. Well, and we're hoping while we do our own investigation into things that perhaps more detail will become uncovered that will help us out and thus help you out as well. So. All right. So if I recall correctly, though, wasn't +2 what it originally was? And it really wasn't until we eased up with +4? So +2 is really, in my belief, more of a historic standard than the +4 is. Nope, no extra lives. Are we all doing Extra Life this season? Yes. Yes, we will be doing Extra Life. Absolutely. Typically that's in October, although I happen to know that... Oh, now that I think about it. There's an Extra Life kickoff in the Boston area about next Friday at this time. So depending on whether or not I attend to that, I guess we'll determine whether or not there's a live stream next week. But I want to get started with hardcore, so I guess we'll have to see. See what I can work around the schedule. They asked if I was going this year, and so I was like, well, okay. Can I tell us if it is the standard reward system? Level 20, 5k favor, 10 and 20 reaper. No, it is not. It also totally is. But isn't. That's the actual answer. But yes, we have been reading through that extra damage bug thread, and it's like, well, I mean, it sounds plausible that something could be happening there, and hopefully we can figure out what, and then take care of it. So. Nauseated. All right. Oh, really? Is my stream bad? Don't tell me my stream is bad. Freaking me out here, man. Alright. Is that horse from Saltmarsh? Yes, it is. I'm trying to read chat and defeat this thing, but I thought there was some question that I was gonna... So, recent about the stream issue, I'm sorry that there was a stream freezing issue. So I recently got better internet, and it should have taken care of that. It seems to have been on my end, but clearly not for everything. Someday I'm going to have to get a new computer. But today will not be that day. So... I'm just catching up on chat while it was here. I missed some things because I was distracted. This guy always takes forever. I should have just spawned my bulwark. Do I have a bulwark with me still? I don't think I do. Yes, I do. All right. Here, you can keep me alive. That way I don't have to worry about it. All right. You know, the other thing about the, quote, extra damage bug is you never know what's exactly... I mean, it could be a million different things. It could be like, perhaps there's an extra vulnerability property that's on a thing that shouldn't be, or, you know, something is giving you... reducing your damage reduction by something that it shouldn't, or, you know, there's a whole bunch of things in DDO that... I'm taking too much damage. Makes it somewhat difficult to be like, well, let's see if how it peaks on the... Is it too much damage meter? Unfortunately, that meter does not exist. It tends to be a trickier process to identify. But then that thread has been pretty high quality, if I recall, so far. Gave people some good things to at least look at. So, keep it coming. There we go. How has the weather been outside? Well, it's been very nice. Thanks for asking. Last weekend I had a yard sale at my house, and it was a beautiful weekend for it, and this looks like it's going to be a really beautiful weekend too. Unfortunately, I have yard work and some other work that I'm doing instead. But I'm going to have fun in the near future. How many of you are out there? Is there anyone in chat that is into RC cars? If you were into RC cars, I just got a new crawler. I haven't had a chance to take it out yet because I've been too busy with work and other things that needed to get done around the house and in my life. But I think this is going to be the weekend for it. So... That'll be a really good time. If you die in game, you die in real life. I don't think anyone would want to sign up for that DDO. I would not say do not play DDO under those conditions. I'm just saying. Not a wise decision on your part. Pick some other game. I don't know, Othello maybe. Connect 4. Animal Crossing. So I don't actually know, I mean, how much I can say about it. But I happened to hear some news about our executive producer doing a tabletop session that I think got recorded somewhere. And if I can ever figure out where it got recorded, I will pass it up to you. Or tell you where. Yeah, I'm way behind on chat. Well, I actually went back to the start because I felt like I was missing some things because I hadn't been paying enough attention. And I can sort of, as long as, especially if I can get them locked in a wall or something like this is a great one to do chat with. Because yes, this boss has a bajillion gazillion hit points. And my weapon is not a gazillion bajillion hit point damager. As a matter of fact, it's something really crappy. I mean, it's not the worst in the world, but it is simply a Morning Lord's Great Axe. So So I just need enough spell points in this character to be able to use my consecration, because I like being able to use consecration on this character. It's been working out pretty well for me. And so having Bulwark around has been super handy. But also, you know, the occasional lost soul or something works out quite well too. Crawlers are a blast and such fun. Yes, so I actually sold one of my bashers. Back to RC Car Talk just for a second. I actually sold one of my bashers. I had a Arma Granite 3S BLX. That was a nice car. But I just wasn't really using it. Because my yard isn't huge. It's plenty big. It's bigger than a lot of people's in Massachusetts. But like in the Boston area or whatever. It's like a half acre or so. But, those 50-mile-an-hour cars will go through your backyard in about 2 seconds. And so, you know, as RC cars have gotten more powerful on the hobby side, everyone's like, yeah, it goes 70 miles an hour. It's like, you don't want something going 70 miles an hour across your backyard. You actually don't. So, yeah, the additional power is nice. So I was just still using the same one I'd always been using, which is Granite Voltage, running on a 2S. And so I've been wanting to get a crawler for a long time, and I sold that Granite to pay for about half of it. Yes. I mean, it's the last few minutes of the show here. I'm just gonna destroy Vixor Shal the Deceiver and then call it a stream. It is a good weekend, though, for DDO. Just a quick reminder that we do have the 10% buddy boost happening. So this is parties, not raids. But it'll get you up to 50% XP if you got some friends go along with you. And that's a good way to get some leveling in this weekend. We also do have a Champion Hunter week that's going through Wednesday. So good opportunity to spend those mysterious remnants, perhaps, if you are interested. And then we do, of course, have Hardcore starting on Wednesday for Season 8. And that's going to be... I think that's going to be pretty big. So I hope you enjoy it. I'm looking forward to it. What am I going to play? Well, you know me. I'm not the greatest hardcore... I'm not the greatest player in the world. I have developed over the hardcore seasons sort of a cleric build that just works for me. And I will probably do that. I'm not going to do anything goofy or that I don't do a lot. I'm going to play it safe. Including, I think, just running things on... I don't know, maybe even normal? I mean, people tell me you can hit 1750 no problem, even on normal. I suppose I could put that to the test and actually make it, pretty easy. But even then, I have to be careful what I'm doing. But we'll see. We'll see. Because if you're going to do multiple lives, then maybe I should. And then I won't die all the time. And I'll get all the things. And we'll have a lot more to say about the hardcore season next week as well. So, I don't know. I suppose we could try to get even maybe a static group. Can we get a static group for Fridays at 4 for the next few weeks? Maybe we could. Might be something to consider anyway. But the next few weeks are also going to be really busy, so we'll see. All right. Well, let's call it, huh? Thanks so much for watching Fridays at 4 on twitch.tv/DDOstream. I'm going to have a little bit of a spotty schedule, I know, in like the next month. I don't know if I'm going to be here next week, but I'll let you know. If I cancel the show, I usually put it out on Twitter and Facebook on that Friday morning. So stay tuned and I'll have more information about that. But at the very least, we'll have the start of hardcore and more happening here. So thanks for being a part of it, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.